if you're launching a new program or selling something that you've never sold before, you're going to feel fear. If you're making an offer, you just create a new offer and you are trying to sell it, you are going to feel fear. You're going to feel this need to hide and this anxiety and this fear of, oh my God, what if no one gonna buy? And guess what? That fear is normal. And today I want us to talk about that. So there is this fear that we all feel, regardless of the level that you are on your entrepreneurial journey or how old you've been in business, that you feel fear when you are putting out something new into the world. This could be a new concept. This could be a new thing that you've been embodying, or this could even be a new offer that you just created and you want to sell. And the truth is that in that moment, you're going to feel some fear. And that fear often shows up as probably anxiety or trying to overcomplicate things or avoiding to actually post the thing, right? So this fear is going to disguise itself in so many ways. To some people, you're just going to have this anxiety around posting or around sharing that offer or sharing that product because you're like, it's not good enough. Nobody is going to like it. Nobody is going to buy and all of that. So when your brain is doing that, you have to understand that it's normal. It's very normal for you to fear that nobody is going to buy. It's very normal for you to feel like this is not good enough. Because in that moment, most of us can just go into this thing of feeling like, okay, what is wrong with me? And this kind of like happens regardless the level of growth that you are in your business or in your journey. So when each time that you notice this resistance come or this limiting belief or this block around nobody is going to buy or oh my God, what is like all of these things, and you have this anxiety towards either posting, it's either you're going to get, because of this anxiety or this fear that is subconscious, you're going to enter into like the different type of survival mode. To some people, you're going to enter into the fight mode where you just want to post. You will just want to talk about the offer. Like you're just going to be on this run energy. And it's going to feel like you're going to enter into a little bit of a pushy energy where you're trying to push that thing to happen, push that thing to make a sale, push that offer out there. And again, when this happens, it's totally normal. You are not going crazy. This is a normal human experience. So when you are having this desire to push this offer, put it out there and just make it happen, I want you to realize that in that moment, there is a fear in disguise there. There is a fear that if probably you do your part and surrender, probably people are not going to buy, probably nobody is going to see it, or if your best is not enough. So because of that, you create this attachment energy towards the thing, because you subconsciously go into thinking that, oh my God, if I just push it more, then more people are going to see it and they are going to buy. So I'm not saying that it's not important to share the work or share the offer or share the product that you're sharing. It's important to share the product, but when you are sharing the product from this energy of like pushing and, when you know that it's not like you need to actually just, it's okay what you've done and you feel this need to do more on the offer, to do more to make sales, to do more. It could be your brain going in that overdrive mode of fight, right? Like it's fighting for that thing to pull through. And other people, they are going to go into this mode of flight where, because they feel this anxiety, this could be flight or freeze, they are just going to avoid doing the thing, right? They are just going to avoid taking the action towards the offer. So you're going to avoid writing that post. You're going to avoid actually showing up and talking about that offer because it feels uncomfortable, and because there's a part of you that believes that nobody is going to buy that offer. And because you have this program in your brain running, guess what? You literally avoid talking about the offer. And because you avoid talking about the offer, you end up not making sales. So you literally fulfill the prophecy and fulfill the fear that you have been having. So when you put an offer, when you create a new offer, first of all, again, you need to understand this. This is what is happening. Your brain, because this thing is new and because this offer is something you've never created, you're putting it out there. It's literally like you're stepping into the unknown. And because you don't know the outcome, your brain is going to think it's danger. Because here's the thing, anything your brain cannot wrap its mind or itself around because it doesn't have evidence of ever doing that thing before, your brain is going to think it's danger. And in order to understand how your brain works, you first of all need to understand the primary job of your brain. The primary job of your brain is to keep you safe. To keep you safe from anything it thinks is danger, and to keep you from doing anything it thinks is going to put you in a state of danger or is going to make you feel danger or be in danger. And anytime you're doing something that your brain has never done before, it doesn't have evidence that that thing works. And because it doesn't have evidence that that thing works, right, it actually is new to your brain. And because it's new, your brain perceives it as danger. As danger because it doesn't know the outcome. It doesn't know if this offer you put out there, if it's going to work or not. And because your brain in that moment is going to be trying to do its work to try to keep you safe, it's actually going to project to you the worst scenario. It's going to project to you the worst scenario of what could happen. And the worst scenario of what could happen will be, it was going to project to you the negative things that would happen if you go down that path, if you do that offer, if you do this. So it's literally like this. Your brain is going to project to you the negative what ifs. Why? Because it is trying to literally show you reasons why you should not. So it is trying to keep you safe. Because it believes that if you step into that thing that it doesn't know the outcome. If you put that offer out there without it really knowing the outcome and knowing that someone is going to buy, that is unsafe. That is unsafe because if you fail, it's going to hurt you. And your brain doesn't like you being in pain. Your brain doesn't like you feeling negative emotion. Your brain, all of it is meant to protect you from anything that it thinks harm you. So because it's doing this, it literally projects to you the negative possibilities of what it thinks will go wrong, what it thinks it will not work out, so that you can be like, oh my God, okay, I'm not going to do that. And when you're like, I'm not going to do that, your brain is like, okay, now we're safe. We're safe because we are in what is familiar. We're safe because we are not doing something new. We're safe because we are not putting this offer out there. So each time that you have an offer that you're putting out there, there is a fear that is going to happen in some shape or form. And this fear is normal fear. So how do you then lead through this? The way you lead yourself through this is simple. You are going to, first of all, understand that it's normal. It's normal. Like there's nothing wrong with you. If you're afraid of putting that offer out there, there's nothing wrong with you if you're afraid that no one is going to buy. If there's nothing wrong with you if you are afraid that, oh my God, people are not actually going to see this for what it is. It is your brain doing its job, doing its absolute job to keep you safe from what it thinks is danger. So it's not really doing anything negative. It's actually doing everything positive. It's actually doing everything in its own power to keep you safe. So there's nothing wrong with you if you feel fear and you're afraid of doing something new for the first time. It actually shows, and it's actually a sign that you are expanding. So this led us into the second step. The second thing that you do to lead yourself through this is to embrace the fear. Embrace the fear, because here's the thing. In that moment, your brain is going to want to do something to actually avoid you feeling that fear. And this could be avoiding to take the action or going in this override mode of just going, to doing things so that you don't sit and feel the fear. So when you embrace the fear, it means that you're going to sit and allow yourself to actually feel the fear. And I know there's maybe you've heard like law of attraction or saying, okay, you just have to feel good if you have to just switch that into a good energy. No, that is literally going to create either spiritual bypassing, or that is actually going to get you to suppress that emotion. And every emotion that is suppressed is stored. It is stored in your tissues, it's stored in your body, it is stored in your cells, and in long term, it is stored in your genes, and it prints itself in your genes and all of that through epigenetics. So the goal is not to suppress the emotion, and the goal is not to avoid the fear that you feel when you want to put that offer out there. If you want to put that offer out there, and you're like, oh my God, I'm afraid. Okay. Oh, take a deep breath. This is normal. I'm going through this. I'm having a human experience. This is actually a sign that I am doing something new and that my brain is trying to protect me. So there's nothing wrong with me. Second step, embrace it. Like, just sit in it and experience it. Experience that fear in your body and just sit with it. And if you want to cry, you can cry. Most of the time, when I'm putting something new out there and I feel the fear, I just sit in it. And if I feel like crying, I cry. I cry and give myself the permission to feel and embrace emotion and then release it, right? So you're embracing the emotion by sitting with it without having to, oh, no, I'm feeling this fear. Let me just forget about it and go and post. No, sit and feel it. Embrace every part of the fear, embrace every part of the emotion, and feel the emotion and feel how it really feels in your body, right? Now, this leads us to the third step, which is release the emotion. Now, releasing the emotion is different from embracing, because embracing means allowing yourself, giving yourself the space to actually experience it. Releasing is about, now, how can you now release the emotions from your body, release emotions from your mind, and just let it out. So this is where you're going to let out the emotions. And how do you release the emotions? There are a few ways. One, cry if you have to. Cry if you want to, because the tears that you release, you're releasing the anger, you're releasing the pain, you're releasing the anxiety. Cry and release the emotion. The second thing that you can do to release the emotion is actually venting if you want. Vent, talk, scream, whatever you want, like scream and whatever it is that works for you. But for me, crying has always been the best, because crying actually helps me to connect with a deeper part of myself, that soft part of myself, that inner part of myself, right? So when you've vented and you've cried and you've released all the things, okay, now it's time. Let's move to the next step. Or you can also release through dancing, right? Because here's the thing, when you embrace it and you sit down and like, I'm experiencing fear right now, you're actually like, okay, I'm going to put on my favorite song. I'm going to dance and feel this fear in me and release it, and gently and release it with love, without judgment, without making it wrong, without making it look like, okay, this fear is actually an enemy, but it's more of like, this fear is actually a friend trying to protect me. So, but I lovingly dance and release you out of my body now. I lovingly release you and let you go, because I no longer want you to stop me. I lovingly release and let you go, because right now I just want to be free. So that's how you release the fear. It's like you release it out of your body, release it out of yourself, release it in a way that you feel. Maybe it's dancing works for you. Maybe it's stretching. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's crying. What has been the best way for you to actually release your emotion? And maybe it's venting. And when we talk about venting now, this is why venting, it's good, but you need a safe space in order to vent, and not just to vent on people, not to pour your anger on people. It could be you venting at the wall, venting at yourself in the mirror to yourself, but just release it, right? And when you release the fear, now you ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? What is the worst that can happen with this if I put this offer out there? Ooh, what is the worst? The worst that nobody is going to buy. But what is, even if nobody buys, what am I going to learn in the process? Who am I going to become? Like, what is really the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is that you're going to hear cricket. The worst that can happen is that nobody is going to sign up. And the worst that can happen is that nobody's going to like it, and that is okay. But in that process of nobody buying, who would you become? What would you learn? What would you integrate? What is the lesson you will learn through the process? What is the things that you will become, right? And now, so that is what is the worst? What is the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen, nobody buys, nobody signs up, and that is okay. So, and if nobody signs up, you're going to take that as feedback. So instead of seeing that, okay, as a failure, you're going to see it as a lesson, as feedback. Okay, nobody bought, but why? Probably my messaging isn't right. Probably my positioning isn't right. Probably my energy wasn't right. Probably I didn't have a squiddy clean energy behind this offer. Probably this offer wasn't really aligned. Probably. So why? So instead of seeing it as, oh, the worst that can happen is that nobody buy. And if nobody buy, it means I'm a failure. It's like, if nobody buys, how are you going to learn from it? And how are you going to use that lesson to improve your business and improve your life so that in the next time you're doing your business or your whatever, how better is it going to be? How bigger is it going to be? How more massive is it going to be? Right? So that is the next thing you ask yourself. And after you really ask is what is the worst, now you're going to play in the energy, but what is the good thing that can happen? What is a good thing? Like, you see, like, what is, oh my God, what is the possible, like, what is the possibility? The best thing that can happen is that, oh my God, people are going to sign up. The best thing is that even one person, just one person is going to sign up for this offer. The best thing is that, oh my God, just one client who is ideal for this offer, who is ideal for this program, who is just the perfect fit for this program is going to sign up. And oh my God, the best thing is that it's going to change people's life. So instead of dwelling in the negative what if, and even if your mind goes into the negative what if, you switch that into the positive what if. Just play in the energy. Just play in the energy of the positive what if. Just leave there. Because this alone is going to shift your energy and it's going to shift everything. What if somebody buys? Oh my God. What if people sign up? What if you have 10 people and like, oh my God, this is what I've been waiting for. I've been in your wall. I've been watching and this is it for me. What if you actually have people sign up and they literally come in and they are your ideal people? So what if the people come in are just your people? What if it works? What if people buy? What if somebody who has never commented just reach out and be like, oh my God, I read your email, I read your post, I just watched your live stream or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, that is it for me. And they've never commented. What if? So play in the positive energy of it, play in the excitement energy of it, play in the expansion energy of it, and play in the fun energy of it. Because as you play in the excitement, in the expansion, and in the fun energy of this, what is going to happen is that your energy is going to expand and you're going to be lit. And when you're putting this offer out there, it's no longer going to be like, oh my God, this is a thing. Oh my God, nobody's going to buy it. It's going to be like, ooh, this is going to change life. I'm putting something amazing in the world. And the worst that can happen is that nobody buys, but I'm going to learn from it anyway. And I myself take myself through this process every time I am launching an offer. I take myself and I take my clients through this because most of the time we think that just maybe because you've launched so many things or you sold so many things, you don't have this. No. But at every level that you're selling something new, something you've never sold before, something that you just created, this is going to come up for you. And when this come up for you, guess what you're going to do? We're going to remember. We are going to remember that, oh my God, yes, this gets to be fun. And yes, what is the worst that can happen? And then you're going to embrace it all and you're not going to suppress that fear. So that fear is normal and that fear is not your enemy. And each time this fear comes up, actually know that you're expanding, know that you're growing. And I always have this quote that I say, if it doesn't scare you, it doesn't expand you. Because if it doesn't scare you, it means it's something you've done before and you're confident that you can do it. But confidence only comes after daring. The first time you do the thing, it's going to freak you out. It's going to freak your brain out. You're going to be so scared, and that's okay, and that's normal. The only time you don't feel the fear is when you've done it, maybe over and over and over again, and now you're used to it, and your brain has evidence that it's going to work. right? So it doesn't feel that fear anymore. And this is like, there's also another thing I want to conclude with. There's what I call sales trauma. So sales trauma is literally like when you've made offers in the past and people have said no so many times, and this literally has traumatized you without you realizing and put you in that place where you're just afraid to launch anything or sell anything new. And that is a whole different conversation for a different video or a different podcast episode. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.